but today in particular is about communications. I think it's very important that we make sure that you know what is happening across the university, you know where to get your information, and you know who to contact if there are concerns or questions about how you matriculate at the university. Let me give you a sense of why it's important with respect to how we are rated in the university. The U.S. News and World Report says there are four particular metrics that have moved us in an upward trajectory for these rankings. First, graduation. So we are graduating more kids today at a higher rate than we ever have before. Second is retention, which is first year retention, which means that our ability to bring a freshman back to a sophomore year is the highest it's ever been in Delaware State University's history. The third is peer review. Peer review, it says effectively, how do your other sister institutions rank you? Delaware State University is ranked well among our sister institutions, and that's important. And then finally is social mobility. And I couldn't be more proud of this particular fact. It's probably the most important metric from my view. What it says is students who are from low resource communities matriculate and graduate at the same rate that our traditional population does. So that means that students who are trying to change their life trajectory for themselves, their families, and their communities can do that better at Delaware State than almost any other university in the country. So I want you to be proud of your university, where we are and where we're going. But we do have a lot of work to do, and that starts first with communications. I'm joined by a host of colleagues today, but I want to start with Dr. Dawn Mosley. Dr. Dawn Mosley, you may know, is our communications and marketing director. She does not get a lot of play. You don't see her very often, but when she is on, and Dawn Mosley is always on, really ringing the bell for Delaware State University and also making sure that we answer your questions in earnest. So she's going to give you a sense of our general communication strategy. You'll also get a sense from Tony Boyle and his team as to our communications processes, particularly those things that you might be having trouble with relative to how you navigate the university. It's important that you understand how to navigate the university. And then finally, after Tony Boyle and his team, we'll have Dr. Stacy Downing, who is the Chief Administrative Officer of DSU Downtown. We have more than 200 students that are living on that campus, about 250 faculty that are on that campus as well. It is burgeoning, and we expect to do much more. We want to make sure that we're doing that the right way and are continuing to do that in earnest. And obviously, we will continue to answer your questions. It's important that you get your questions answered in a thoughtful way, and that we are here for you. We'll be constantly in the chat with respect to your questions and make sure that we are answering them in a thoughtful way. So without further ado, my friends, your university is among the best HBCUs in the country. You should be proud of that. But we know that we are not planting any flags. We have more work to do, and that starts with making sure that we have the right communications one to another. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to Dr. Dawn Mosley. Dawn?
Thank you, Tony. Good morning, everyone. Pleasure to be here. It is my pleasure to present marketing and communication outlets and resources that we make available to our students, faculty, staff, and community every day, every week, all year long. I'd like to present starting with, I'm sure my presentation will show shortly. Thank you so much. So first, we can certainly see all the folks that we have to address here. And first, I just want to make, first and foremost, the main communication outlets that we use. You may have heard it. If you haven't, you check your email, because we've been sending out the buzz. And that is exactly what it's called, the buzz, a weekly e-newsletter that we send to faculty, staff, and students that is distributed every Tuesday unless there is a holiday. And this information is sharing information regarding events, critical information for our students and faculty that should be shared amongst yourselves. And again, every Tuesday, expect it in your email in the afternoon, unless there is a holiday that may be delayed to a Wednesday. But that is your main resource for information and events happening at Delaware State University. Second, we have Hornets Rising. This is a quarterly e-news, and that is actually to all faculty, staff, and students as well, but it includes all of our stakeholders, legislators, a long, wonderful list of folks that support us. Third is e-news. Many of you receive information from the e-news account. Essentially, the e-news account is a general email box that allows us to send critical information. Could be about parking, could be about events, opportunities for our students, information that we want to share with everyone. It's something that we typically use anywhere from 7 to 20 times a week. Lastly, we have Regroup. And again, this is just the main communication outlets that we use. Regroup is actually used for critical information that you may have received a text or phone call when something was needed to be shared in an immediate and needed your response and or notification immediately. This could be weather reports. Sometimes we do share special information that needs to be noted within the hour or within that day. But essentially, we use these for weather alerts and any type of emergencies that we deem necessary for that purpose. This is something that you do not have the option to unsubscribe because we do deem them critical. Next, very, very important. I want you to pay close attention to this. The website. We can move to the next one, Kyle. The website. When we share information, believe me, we leave it on the website as well so that you can go back to it. I'm sorry, Kyle, I'll go back to that. Thank you so much. The website is the general space, obviously, that we can share information about what's happening, special events, information that we deem to be necessary for you. And of course, it is still considered a communication hub because students, faculty, staff, and others can log on or into their banner or their Blackboard and get information from there as well. So it's still considered a very, very high-level communication device. I want to mention Regroup one more time because this is actually something that others can sign up for, which I'll cover in a few minutes. And then, of course, specialized emails. Specialized emails may be something that you may receive that is noted for marketing purposes. We may be inviting you to special upcoming events like homecoming, which we're super excited about. We may be inviting you to the prayer breakfast. And these are deemed marketing and promotional events. So certainly you will see those as well. They may not note Regroup, but that is a tool that we use internally and externally. Next, I want to talk to you just about our main social media outlets. Yes, these are critical, especially to our students. We've conducted surveys. Our students have reported back that they love to get emails, but they also like to see information shared on social media. And we do our best to do that, sharing information on each and every one of the outlets that you see here. Please note, if you are not following us, we would love for you to follow us. Not just because we want you to be a part of our family, because you already are, but because of the information that's being shared with you is critical. And I ask you, please, share it amongst your friends as well, because this is the information that we get a lot of questions about, and we've already distributed or shared it in our social spaces. Next. I would love, oh, this is so exciting, everyone. Lift. Lift is a new internal team. Lift is a team of folks from every department at the university sharing information regarding events, regarding critical information that we want to make sure our students are all connecting to, and most importantly, that we're all leveraging. We're lifting each other. We're notifying one another information. So I say to our faculty, staff, and students that are on the call, please contact me directly at dmosley@desu.edu if you'd like to participate in this program. We have over 45 participants every 2 weeks. Every two weeks, and we talk and go through special events. And believe me, it is a very fun time to talk and share the special things that are happening and also critical events that we want you to be aware of and take advantage of because we want to lift the university and all the great things that are happening here today. Next. Okay, big information here. Stay connected. We get all questions all the time. How can I get connected? How can I receive information? Well, we've made it very easy for you. As you can see on the left side of the screen, Hornets Rising that I noted earlier, you can join that mailing list. If you're not already receiving it, you can share this with anyone that you choose and they will receive it. We create groups for special notifications such as this, join the mailing list. And also subscribe to our news feed. When we have fantastic news like our president just noted about our rankings, it's noted in our news feed. When that news feed is uploaded to the website, you will receive a notification. So more than 2, 3, 4 ways that you're going to receive that information. Next, parents, we love you and we want you to be informed as well. Please note, we have created a special link just for you so that you can sign up for this information as well. At desu.edu/parents, you can log on and sign up for parent notifications for the Hornets Rising, as I noted, and also subscribe as well to our e-newsletter. Next, this is something I thought would be really important to share with you as well. What's trending? If you're missing something, check our website, please. If you scroll down to the middle of the page, when we're posting, you'll see it there. If you feel like you've missed something, you'll probably catch it there as well. Check our What's Trending on the website, and that'll give you a plethora of information and updates and things that we've shared throughout the week. This is a great place to find what's happening and what's trending at Delaware State University. Next, please. So here's how I would like to wrap this up. Open it, read it, and share it. What do I mean by that? Here is a list of various departments and ways that you will receive information. Yes, we are the marketing department, but it takes a whole family, a whole team of us to communicate and disseminate critical information, important, fun, and things that are happening on campus as well. So this list basically is just sharing with you. You may hear from any one of these departments, but most importantly, you have to open it. You have to read it. And I share this information. So many times we send information to our students, and our students will email us asking us about the information. And essentially, it's already in there. We've already emailed it. So please keep close watch on your emails. Keep a close watch, even in your own social media spaces. If you're following us, you'll get it. But just note, you have to open it, you have to read it, and I ask you, please share it. Next. Thank you, and I hope that provided you with a lot of information. Lastly, I did want to share with you some information that we have added to our website that I believe will be very helpful to parents. This is an emergency alert system sign-up list that will be provided for you under the Parents tab on the website. If you go under the Parents tab on the main website landing page, you will see the instructions for parents. It is noted on the left navigation as well as at the bottom. You will see a location where you can click and sign up, and the instructions are very simple, how you will receive notifications from our emergency department and or DSU Police Department. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Mosley. That was a wonderful presentation. For the students in particular, I know that we're a little older than you. So when I was growing up, email was the new thing. But I do know that text is a new thing for you. What I would encourage you to do is make sure that you're always checking your email. And that's not only for notifications, but that's also for specific announcements, like, for instance, our ability to provide you additional student relief. For parents, I've heard from any number of you with respect to emergency notifications. 2 things on that score. One, we always notify our students, staff, and faculty for anything that is happening at the university that is important and real time. But what Dr. Mosley is talking about is you need to opt in to that emergency notification, which we are happy to have happen. She already listed the website. Dr. Mosley, I'd like you to put that in the chat so folks know how to access that. Chief Joyce Simmons, who will talk to us in a little bit, will talk to you about that more. But the idea is that we can create more communication so you feel comfortable about the information you're receiving and the actions you need to take as a result. So thank you, Dr. Mosley. Anything else you would add?
Thank you. No, thank you. And I would just agree with you. Please open it, read it, and share it. It's very important for us to share that information amongst ourselves and with our other fellow students. Thank you.
Fantastic. All right, we're going to turn it over to Mr. Tony Boyle. For all of you, Mr. Tony Boyle has been on probably every one of these forums over the last month and a half. He and his team are what I call the student touch points with respect to everything with the exception of the classroom and the lab. So admissions, student accounts, financial aid, registration, Veterans Affairs, international students. So everything that touches the student, particularly as they begin their semester at the university, is under Tony's umbrella. So I'm going to turn it over to Mr. Boyle to talk to you again about the communications processes there. Tony?
Thank you, President Allen. Good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining again today. We're going to pivot a little bit this morning, and we're going to have two groups that we heard from you in the chat last week that we need to address. The two groups in this order. First and foremost, Jarso Segby. She'll give us on that student advising, getting your classes, and she'll be followed by Blackboard. These were the two largest requests from last week. We needed to get answers on students getting classes. Can I register? Second part of term, and then followed by Blackboard, and then we'll answer the other questions. So Jarso, if we'll let you go, and then we'll have Martha to follow you. Jarso?
Hey, thank you, Mr. Boyle. Thank you for the privilege, Mr. President. So the Office of Student Success is going to provide you some information for our transitioning students from Wesley. Apologize if you've heard some of this information quite recently. It's some of the same information you've heard. Next slide, please. So the Office of Student Success houses 8 units that you need to be familiar with. Not only advisement is in the Office of Student Success. We have academic services for student athletes, the library, experiential learning and honors, intervention and retention, those students that are on probation, needing academic recovery, our opportunity scholars, dreamers, and tutoring and mentoring support are all under the Office of Student Success. Next, our location is the second floor of the library. We are dispersed. There are 2 college teams that advises on the second floor of the library. That is the College of Humanities, Education and Social Sciences. If you're in any of those colleges, that's where you'll find your advisors. If you're in the College of Ag, Science and Technology, that's where you'll find your advisors. We also have advisors in our satellite locations in the Bank of America building. The person there that you want to connect with is Ms. Tamika Faria Frisbee, and that location is Bank of America building, Suite 108. Our Wesley College of Health and Behavioral Sciences, the Advisement Center currently is operating out of the Price's building, room 111, and the person there is Mrs. Michelle Rush. So there's their phone numbers and email addresses so you can reach out to them. And I will also put my email in the chat so that you can follow up with me in the event that you're emailing and you're not getting responses. Next slide, please. So our advisement is broken by college and by last names. So if you're in any of the majors, for example, in the Wesley College of Health and Behavioral Sciences, these are our 5 majors within the college for undergrad. The director there again is Ms. Michelle Rush, and the assignments are by last name. So you want to look at your last name and look at your major and go on our website. And later on in the presentation, I'll show you how to access the website for you to know who and where to contact your advisor. Next slide, please. This is the list for the College of Agriculture, Science and Technology. Again, that advising team consists of 4 advisors. Their emails and phone numbers and office locations are identified here, along with the majors and concentrations. So if you have, if you need to reach them, their emails are there, phone numbers, and office location. Next slide, please. This is the College of Humanities, Education, and Social Sciences. We've had added 2 or 3 new majors, post-acquisition, languages and literatures, international studies, and law studies. Those are new majors that have been added to the College of Humanities, Education, and Social Sciences. Again, the advising caseloads are broken down by last names. Next, please. Next, please. And the College of Business in the same cadence. The director is Ms. Tamika Frisbee, and those are the majors. But particular to the College of Business, there are some concentrations that you need to be particularly informed of. Next slide, please. So for the majors that you see highlighted, aviation, finance, and management, those majors require a concentration, but your advisor will help you navigate through that so that you're following all of the requirements as you should. Next slide, please. We also have online programs, and we have dedicated advisors specifically for our online students who are taking courses completely online. That's our accounting, general management, psychology, and public health programs. And those are the folks that you need to contact in that regard. Next slide, please. Athletic academic advisors are also available for our student athletes. If you need to contact them, these are their contact information. They are broken down by assignment by sports. So if you fall in this category, these are the contact information. The main point of contact is the last person on this list, Ms. Nikita Robbins Thompson. If you have any questions, need any support, that's the number and email you want to contact. She also sees a caseload for men's basketball. Next slide, please. And we are excited to say we finally have a transfer advising office in the Office of Student Success. Dr. Ashambolt heads that office, and she works closely with our enrollment management team to make sure that our students with transfer credits coming in are processed effectively and efficiently so that our transfer students' experience are much improved as we move on, as they matriculate. Next slide, please. Library services is also available for students. These are the hours that we have available for you. If you have general questions, send an email to libref@desu.edu. If you have questions about interlibrary loans, send an email to libill@desu.edu. And these are the hours. The phone number front desk is available for you. Next slide, please. Here's where I think the crux of the questions were with students, and how do I get in touch with my advisor? For every student that comes to the Office of Student Success, you please schedule an appointment through the Appointment Plus portal, and you can access that through My DESU. On the right-hand side of the column, you will see Office of Student Success. There's a tab that says Schedule an Advising Appointment or a Tutorial Appointment. Once you click that, it will land you to a page that you see in the middle. You put in your D number and password, and you can log in and schedule an appointment. And if you're scheduling a tutoring appointment, just click tutoring. If you're scheduling an advising appointment, hit advising. Your advisors' names are already populated in this portal, so you don't have to go looking for it. It'll just populate based on your major. So once we get it, once you send that email, it populates into the advisor's email, and they'll be notified that you have scheduled an appointment with them, and they'll reach out to you. Next slide, please. And for students who are scheduling appointments now, we want to stress that we're using the IDP to make sure that we're capturing all of what we need to capture to be able to support you. This was just a buzz to let you know advisors will be reaching out to you to say, hey, you haven't scheduled your IDP appointment. The IDP is the individual development plan, is a tool that we use to help our students navigate through their matriculation, making sure that we're setting goals and we're working towards achieving those goals. First, we do it in the first 5 weeks, and then after midterms, to review midterms and then move forward with preparing for the following semester. Next slide, please. Next slide, please. So there are some important dates and deadlines we've already sent to students regarding things that you need to pay particular attention to so that you don't miss out on activities that you need to adhere to. All of you should have received this important dates and deadline calendar from your various advisement teams. Next slide, please. So where to find resources? This is just a list of how do I find links to my major or a minor. These are links to getting you your curriculum guide for your various majors, the website to the Office of Student Success, who do I contact for tutoring, that's the information. The advisement office information is there, student athletes, everyone under the umbrella that I talked about earlier in the Office of Student Success. That's how you reach us so that we can provide you the support that you need. Next slide, please. Additional campus resources. We usually get inquiries for the Center for Disability Resources, Housing and Residential Life, financial aid, student accounts, counseling, campus health services, and the bookstore. So we thought it prudent to share that information with you so that you know who and where to contact for these resources. Next slide, please. This is just a resource that we share with first year students, but I think it's useful that you have this information. If you can just hover over this QR code, the Hornet Guide will populate, and there are plethora of information across campus that is useful to you to have, so you can access that through the Hornet Experience Guide. Next slide, please. So just some last minute reminders. Please make sure you check your DSU email daily. Get to know your professor and advisors. Communicate with your advisors regularly. If you can't reach them, send me an email, jsaygbe, SAYGBE, @desu.edu. We want to make sure we're servicing you and we're servicing you timely. So please communicate with us if you are in need. Check your schedule. No show was just completed this week. So check your schedule to make sure that you weren't dropped from a class. Connect with your advisor so that we can get you situated accordingly. Academic early alert notifications are about to be sent out within the next week or two. When you do receive the alert, reach out to your advisor. Your advisor will reach out to you as well if they haven't heard from you, so that we can provide you resources there as well. Make sure you've done the health insurance waiver if you have health insurance, and look out for the university billing schedule. It's out on the website, available for you. And just ask questions, ask questions, ask questions. And we're here to service you anytime, always. Thank you.
So thank you very, very much for that. We do appreciate that. Students, all this information is being recorded. You can see this stuff, so you'll have it. We'll turn now to Martha Sims Wilson for her to share on Blackboard, access to Blackboard, what you need to do, resources that are there. Martha Sims Wilson. Ms. Martha.
Thank you, Mr. Boyle. I just wanted to talk to you guys today. I know that some of you you have been able to successfully navigate through our learning management system, Blackboard. There are some who are still having some challenges, so we just wanted to address those with you today. And I will give you a live demo to show you some of the functions within Blackboard. But before I begin the live demo, I just want to share some information with you. All courses have a Blackboard presence, and the level of usage varies from instructor to instructor and from course to course. Courses that are designated as online have a 100% usage of Blackboard, meaning the course is completely taught on Blackboard and there is no face-to-face contact with your instructor or professor in a brick and mortar classroom. Everything is done virtually and electronically, and these courses typically are offered in 8-week blocks and are primarily taught asynchronously, meaning there are no scheduled meeting times. For all other courses, the usage of Blackboard does vary from instructor to instructor and will be defined in your course syllabus. Okay, so this is the Blackboard landing page. The URL for Blackboard is dsuonline.blackboard.com. You may also access the link either through the university website, desu.edu, and also from my.desu.edu. There are two videos that you will see when you land on the page for Blackboard, the welcome page. I am currently logged in, but even before you log in, you will see these videos that are there to assist you. The first is how to log into Blackboard, and that will give you a brief video on how you log in. Please note that students and faculty and staff log in differently. So how faculty and staff log in is not the same as students. We've seen a lot of calls coming in from students who've been misinformed that they are just using the first part of their email address, when in actuality for students, it is their entire email address. For faculty and staff, it's just the first part. So I just wanted to put that out there because we've probably received 95% of our calls in the last few weeks have been about that. Also, we have the student orientation video. This was designed for our online students, but it is applicable to all students. It gives you an overview of Blackboard and how to use it, and you can watch this video at any time. It is located there for you. Here at the university, we use a single sign-on. So again, for students, your username and password for Blackboard are the same as your email address. So it's your entire email address and then your same password that you use for your email. And because IT controls this aspect, if you're having any problems logging into Blackboard, please contact the IT help desk at 302-857-7028. But if you have any other issues regarding Blackboard, you may reach us. Some of those examples that you may have could be that you're having difficulty uploading an assignment, you're not seeing a course that you should be seeing. You can reach us Monday through Friday, 8:30 to 4:30 at 302-857-7122, and also via email at blackboard@desu.edu. You will see also on the welcome page that there is a section here for after hours. So if you do need assistance outside of our regular working hours, we also have 365 24/7 support by calling this number that's located right here on the page. And we also have live chat, and that's with the actual person during those same hours if you need assistance with Blackboard. So we have you covered. No matter what time you're up working or studying, you can get support for Blackboard. One thing I want to note is that when using Blackboard, there are two web browsers that we recommend: Google Chrome and Mozilla Firefox. We strongly discourage the use of Internet Explorer as it is not compatible with Blackboard. Safari does work for certain things, but we recommend that you stick with Chrome or Firefox. There are also apps for Blackboard, and you will see it over here, the student app. It looks like a pencil icon in the Apple Store or in the Google Play Store. But we want you to note that even though there are apps, we strongly encourage you to use either Google Chrome or Mozilla Firefox, even when using your iPad or other devices. The best way to help you determine when to use the app is that it is good if you are going to view something. So if you're going to view a video, a PowerPoint, a PDF, or another document, article, anything that your professor wants you to actually view. Now, you should always use the web browsers when you are going to do something. So anything that you will do in Blackboard, such as turn in an assignment, take a test, post to the discussion board, etc., you should always use the web browser feature and not the app. All right, so I just want to go to the My Courses page for a second to show you how to get here. I want to note that you will not see your courses listed in Blackboard until 7 days prior to the start date of the course. Your registration is what connects you with the university, so you will not have access to Blackboard until you are registered for courses. Again, you must be registered to access Blackboard, and you will not see your courses in Blackboard until 7 days, 1 week prior to the start date of the course. Also, please be mindful again that online courses are typically 8 weeks. So if you're taking an 8-week course in the second half of this semester, the course will not show now to you, but it will show to you 7 days prior to the course start date. So I just want to go in quickly to a course to show you some items that are important to you. The first thing I'm going to draw your attention to is that every course should have a My Instructor area, and that is where you should see the information to directly contact your instructor for the course. You should see their email, their number that you can reach them at. They should also include their office hours typically in that area as well. If you need to email your instructor, there are a couple of ways that you can do so. You can go to the tools area, which should also be on the left menu of every course, and then you can go to send email. From the send email area, it gives you some options. You can email everyone in the class. You can email all your fellow classmates. You can do select users or select groups. If you're in a group, you can email your group, or you can email all the instructor users. So anyone who's listed as an instructor in the course will get the email if you click on that. The other way that you can also email is back on the main page. And we have a tool area over here, and you can just click on send email from here as well. And then the third and final way is if you use our program that we have called Quickly. And you can go here and you can email your instructors. If you use the Quickly link, you can email all of your instructors at the same time so that you don't have to do it in each individual course. So for example, if you're an athlete, a student athlete, and you have to travel or something, has come up and you need to communicate to all of your instructors at one time, you can simply click on the email instructors, and then a pop-up window will open and it'll give you a list of every class that you're registered for this semester. And you simply choose the radio button next to those courses in which you want to contact your instructor. The other thing that I want to show you is how to submit an assignment. This is another issue that some of our students have been experiencing. When you go into your class, if it is an online class, you will see something that usually says modules or learning modules, and everything is kind of in there together. But for our hybrid courses and our courses that are completely face-to-face, you typically won't see modules in there. They'll just have different items on the left menu. And typically you'll see something like assignments or homework or whatever the instructor has named it. But you'll see this icon that looks like an open book, and that tells you that that is an assignment. So when you click on the assignment, it's going to tell you some information, how many points it's worth, and then it's going to give you two options. One is the right submission option, which most faculty do not encourage the use of. Most of them prefer that you actually upload a document. So unless they specify that they want you to do this, this is probably something you won't typically do. But what you will do is attach your document. So anytime you see this dotted line in Blackboard, that shows you that you can drag and drop also. So you can drag it from your desktop and drag it in here. You can also browse from the cloud service and use the OneDrive. So if you have your document saved in OneDrive, you can click on Browse Cloud Service and upload them from there as well. And then if you have any comments to your instructor, you can type them here. If you want to give them a reason why it's late, or we hope it's not late, but anything that you want to communicate to them about that particular assignment, you can type it in there. And then you would simply click on Submit. Okay. And then finally, one of the other most popular things that you're going to do in Blackboard is use the discussion board. And so when you click on the discussion board, you will see a forum typically there, and it's usually blue in color. And of course, when you get that little finger, when you hover over, that means it's clickable. So it's a link, so you can click on that, and then you will simply click the Create Thread button, and you can write your subject, and then type whatever it is that your professor or instructor has asked you to do for that particular discussion board. And then you would just go ahead and click Submit. So I just wanted to also just share some other important tips with you. If you accidentally submit or post the wrong document, please contact your instructor or professor and ask them to what we call clear your attempt. And it's important you use those words. So you will contact them and say, Dr. X, I accidentally uploaded the wrong document for my assignment. Could you please clear my attempt? Once they clear your attempt, you'll be able to go back in and put in the correct assignment or the correct document. Also, it is important to always notify your instructor or professor in a timely manner whenever you have a question regarding your submission or your grades. You don't want to wait until the end of the semester to address these issues because it's better that you do it sooner rather than later. So if you're having any problems, don't just kind of brush it off. Make sure that you reach out to them if you're have a question about a grade or something that you submitted that you still don't see a grade for. And also, finally, if your instructor or professor has told you that something is available, but you cannot see it, and they've said that it's there, we just want you to follow a couple of steps first that might help you get through the process a little faster. First, we just want to make sure that you have checked and confirmed that you are using Google Chrome or Mozilla Firefox. And then also contact your instructor just to verify with them one more time that they have made the item available. If you still can't, after those two, you can certainly always reach out to our office by the communication means that I shared with you earlier. So I do thank you for your time this morning, and I hope everyone has a wonderful and successful semester.
Thank you very much, Martha. We do appreciate that. And thank you, team. We have two other items just rather quickly we'll get to you. We want students to all know this information that you've asked us from the chat. Kareem McLemore, Kyle Spalding, Mr. McLemore, Mrs. Spalding.
Good morning. Good morning.
Outstanding. We'll ask Rhonda. I know Thompson is in the other room, as well as we have Carol Boyer-Yancey in the other room. FERPA forms. We talk about FERPA. We know what FERPA is, but how do I get the form, and how do I do that from your lens, Brother McLemore?
Sure.
Hey, Brother McLemore, before you start, just know that we're at 11:53, and I want to make sure there are room for questions.
Okay.
Just make sure that you guys are concise. I'm sure we'll get a lot more questions in the chat.
Will do. All right, we'll do a quick share screen. You're going to be on desu.edu. Once you scroll to a small portion in the middle of the page, right here, you'll see, go back. You'll see consumer information. Once you click on consumer information under general institutional information, scroll down just shortly, right there. Click on the second one. And that is the FERPA information. Ms. Thompson, would you like to quickly explain briefly the FERPA?
Good morning, everyone. Yes, thank you, Mr. McLemore, Mr. Boyle, and President Allen. So again, FERPA, we've gone over this on several occasions, but hey, more information is definitely key. So FERPA, every institution across the country, along with Delaware State University, is considered a post-secondary institution. And students here at Delaware State are considered students of this post-secondary institution, and they are granted certain rights under FERPA, and not to read every line that's right here in the essence of time, but you do have the right within 45 days to review your information. You have the right to request an amendment of that information if you deem that there's something that's incorrect or misleading for others who may very well have access or be given access by you for your information. And thirdly, you as the student, regardless of your age, you can be 17 years old and still living at home with your parents, but once you become a student of Delaware State University and any other institution across the country, you are considered an adult. So you have the right to tell us at Delaware State University who you want to have access to your information. If you do not want anyone to have access to your information, you'll complete the FERPA form and it will be blank, or you will say no one. Or you can give us the names of those persons with whom we can add to the system for access to your FERPA information. If someone calls and they are asking for information about you, if they are not listed, we craft a generic statement. They don't even know that you exist at Delaware State University, even though you might be standing right in front of us at our office to request additional information, regardless of what it is. So we do make sure that we protect you as a student, and we hold your information confidential so that information is not given that you do not want anyone to have access to.
Thank you, Ms. Thompson. And FERPA is important to this communication dialogue because, again, you may have had a mentor since your 9th grade all the way to your 12th grade year, a favorite aunt, uncle, or mom and dad who's actually helping you navigate through your post-secondary education. But if he or she is not on the FERPA, even if they provide financial resources to your education, if the FERPA is not filled out with that information, they will not have access, and the communication cannot move forward with that person or persons who are trying to ask information on your behalf. Mr. Boyle.
Mr. McLemore, Campus Logic, submitting documents.
All right, Campus Logic, submitting documents. Mr. Dorsett.
Yes. First piece is students may log onto their banner self-service. If students go to their financial aid tab, once students go on their financial aid tab, they can actually look at eligibility. The student will select the correct academic year. In this case, we're going to use as the sample, the actual 2021 academic year, although we're in the 21-22, so the one under. And when that student submits that student will see different requirements. As we see right here, the student will see submit free application for federal student aid. So one, that is where the student identifies that we've received their FAFSA. But the same thing, the student can either follow those directions or actually click on the submit free application for federal student aid. And that will take the student to their Campus Logic account. Every student should use their DSU email and D number as the password initially to create their account, and we'll ask some additional information. There, a student will see if they're selected for verification, what documents they need to actually submit, or if there are no documents they need to submit. Biggest thing is the federal government this year has waived students completing verification as long as there are no conflicting information, but we need students to create their Campus Logic account to identify that information. So that is a student creating their Campus Logic account. If a student does need to submit anything, Campus Logic will let them know, as well as let Delaware State University Office of Financial Aid know, and communicate with the student if any additional information is needed.
President Allen, back over to you. President Allen?
Back to me?
Yep, back to you.
All right. So here's what I want to know for sure. We have had an opportunity here to share as much information as humanly possible around how to navigate the university. That doesn't mean we're perfect, everybody. That just means that we have an opportunity to navigate the university. And why these forums are so important is instead of letting you go on your own, we want to make sure that you have the conversation, particularly the students in particular, but also the parents as well. I want to end this conversation with two folks quickly. Dr. Stacy Downing, who is managing a completely new operation at the university, DSU downtown, and Chief Joy Simmons, who has talked a lot about our public safety and security. I'm going to tell you about our emergency notification program. And I know we're running late, but I want to keep it open for questions after Dr. Downing and Chief Simmons. Dr. Downing.
Yes, good afternoon, everyone. So again, as we're transitioning to our new campus location, we are working diligently to make sure we fill in any gaps, to make sure our students and staff who are currently located here have all the information that they need regarding various services and resources that are offered on main campus. You've been privy to in the chat, you have information on who to contact with that information. But again, we're here also to help you navigate any hurdles, or if you just have some information, need assistance getting things accomplished, we are here to help you do that. So again, I'll put a contact information in the chat. So if you have questions, concerns, ideas, things that we can continuously work on to improve, to make sure that our services are streamlined, that they're running effectively, please reach out, because our goal will to make sure that you can navigate as easily as possible so you can, again, focus on your studies. So again, it's a new location and we're working very hard to make sure we offer streamlined processes that, again, your experience will be a great experience downtown. So I'll put a name in the chat to my special assistant. If you have any questions, how to navigate certain areas, she will be able to help you do so. So again, we're here to help you navigate and, again, to streamline and fill in any gaps that you may have.
Great. Dr. Downing, thank you. Chief Simmons, quickly, particularly as it relates to our emergency notification system.
Yes, sir. Our emergency notification system, it provides timely notifications of potential and actual threats that may exist at any given time. That is not limited to crime threats, also our weather events or environmental mishaps that may require communication to the campus community. It is therefore important that all students, faculty, and staff take advantage of the opportunity to utilize the link that is provided underneath the emergency alert section of the police department's website. It's the 6th selection on the left. And once you access that area, you are able to select how you would like to access this information via phone, voice, text message, or even via email. For more information regarding that, just click on emergency alerts underneath the police department link on the Delaware State University website.
Thank you, Chief. Brother McMillan, we're going to go over the questions. I know we are running over time here. I'm sure students are leaving us, but I'm certain parents are not. So let's go over a few questions before we close. Brother McMillan, anything in the chat?
Yes, sir. What percentage of faculty and staff are vaccinated? Are those not vaccinated going through the twice-a-week COVID testing? And is it possible to have COVID testing available on all days of the week?
So let me start with the last question first. No, it's not possible to have COVID testing every day of the week, but we do have them on Tuesdays and Thursdays. With respect to our faculty, staff, and students, 99% of our students are vaccinated, and about 70% of our faculty and staff are vaccinated. I think you all know that we mandated vaccinations for our students. We are incentivizing for our faculty and staff, and those numbers continue to increase. It is my goal that we will be at about 80% by the end of the month. That would take us to herd immunity generally. Just so you know, relative to how many folks have tested positive, we've had about 6,000 tests over the last 2.5 weeks, and our positivity rate is less than a 0.5%. So I think it's actually 0.26%. So we do feel like we are continuing in earnest to keep our campus safe, and obviously we're continuing to encourage vaccinations. I should say that Tuesdays and Thursdays at Delaware State University, on our main campus, there will be vaccination clinics. Those clinics have been going on throughout the summer. And then on Wednesdays at our DSU downtown location, we will continue to have vaccination clinics as well. So there is no reason, save for your religious or medical exceptions, that you should not get a vaccination here at Delaware State University. Our students have led the way. We want to make sure that our faculty, staff, and students do the same. Our faculty, staff do the same. Next question.
Who do we email about our ID? I still have not received one or notification about mine.
Brother Boyle.
Cole, ask Chief Simmons if he can answer it for us, Chief.
Yes, you can email me directly if you're still having ID issues. That would be jdavis@desu.edu. I'll also drop it in the chat.
Thanks, Chief.
Next question.
Does COVID testing requirements every week to be done on campus? Can testing be done elsewhere, or take-home tests?
Oh, certainly. We don't discount other testing from other locations. We just know that it's important that if you're not vaccinated, that you test twice a week. That's largely, again, for faculty and staff, because most of our students are vaccinated. And if you are vaccinated, that you test once a week, and that's just to make sure that you are good and not spreading COVID-19.
I think that's it at this stage, Dr. Allen.
Okay. Well, look, as I said, to be a great university is to communicate in the good times and the not so good times. And we have done that in earnest. I consider today a good time. Parents and students, you're at one of the best HBCUs in the country. You should be proud of that. But more importantly, you should be proud of the fact that we are continuing to answer your questions, be thoughtful about those things, and recognizing that we don't always get it right, but it's not how we fall down. It is absolutely how we get up for you, your students, and certainly your communities. That is our commitment to you as a Delaware State University community member, and certainly our commitment to you as we move forward. So again, I will see you next week. There'll be more communications in short order. I hope you all continue to encourage other people to come and listen to these issues and questions and concerns. But if you have particular issues in the interim, you have seen my entire leadership team, both folks that report to me and their leadership team over the last 4 weeks. So there's no reason that you can't get your questions answered in a thoughtful and timely manner. That's our commitment to you. Thank you again for choosing Delaware State University, and we'll see you next week.
Michael, go ahead and hit the button and hit the camera. Hit both.